Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Last lecture, we have learned about if-else loop in Java, and we have also seen a break and continue statement. So today we are going to start array in Java. You have studied array in C++. That's what I believe. But again, we'll repeat and we'll go slow for this array so that you people can understand very well. Let me present my screen and let me show you the how we define array. So just wait while it starts presenting. Fine. So this is array. Just hold on. Okay. So what is array actually? So array is a collection of similar type of elements that have contiguous memory location. Okay. So Java array is an object that contains elements of similar data type. It is a data structure where we store similar elements. We can store only fixed set of elements in Java array. Okay. Uh, Now, this is about array. Do you know about array? Just write down in chat box so that I can go ahead, or shall I start with zero so that I can come to know? Just let me know. Do you know about array? Simple array. Yeah, I think most of you says yes, but again, yeah, fine. So you people know about array, fine. So array index starts with zero. Array index starts with zero. Okay. So whatever first element we store in this array, its index start with 0, then 1, 2, 3, and at this index 8, we'll get some values. Okay, fine. So let's directly jump to this definition. I mean, how do we define array? Okay, this is the yesterday's program. Let me remove these lines, which is not required at all right now. So how do we define it? There are three ways we can define error. So in C, you were defining like this, right? In C, you were defining like this. Let me write down. It will throw me an error. Integer A, then in bracket, you were defining size. Okay. Uh, so this type of declaration is not valid in Java. This type of declaration is not valid in Java. Okay. So there are two steps. There's two steps. We break this into two steps. Okay, step one. First of all, step one is what? First of all, int array. This is first step. Sorry. Yeah, this is first step. That this is known as a declaration of reference variable called int array. Now, what is this int? It's a data type. Int array is what? It's a reference variable. So most of the time we will be calling it as a variable only. Most of the time we'll be calling it as a variable only. Okay, but what we call, I mean, usually the name is reference variable. What we mean by reference variable? Because we are providing, I mean, whatever memory location is there, this name is a location of that memory. This name is the location of that memory. Okay, so let's say int array. Let's say here example as an int array. Let's say my home name is something like XYZ. What is XYZ? It's a name of the exact address of my home. Okay, it's a name of my exact address of my home. The same way, int array is a name of the exact memory location where some values are there. Anyway, so it's known as a reference variable. Usually we call it as a variable. Okay, so this is known as a simple declaration. Okay, now you see this is the simple declaration. This is one way. Second way, This is the second way. Int, then bracket, int array1. This is second way we can define array. Declare array. This is just a declaration part. Declaration part. Okay. Fine. Okay. Once we declare like this, okay. Next thing is we need to initialize. Okay. So how do we initialize? How do we initialize array? We need to assign some memory. We need to assign some value. Okay. I mean, we will assign some, we are telling array that you store up to this value. Okay. Let me show it. So what is the int array? What is the variable int array? So let me write down int array is equal to new int in bracket 10. What do you mean by this? That means what we are doing, I mean, we have initialized. Okay. So here we have declared as a reference variable. And second here, what is this? We are allocating with new operator. You see, we are allocating 10 elements. We are allocating 10 elements of type what integer with new variable, with new operator we are allocating. Okay. And int array, this int array is, it will refer to this location where we allocated size of 10, where we allocated the size of 10. Okay. Int array will reference, it's a name, it will reference to this location. Okay. Now let's okay, this is the way, this is called declaration, this is called initialization. Okay. You can also do both. Let me dip here, declaration and initialization together. So how do I do that? Integer int array 2 is equal to new integer, let's say 20. This is called declaration initialization together. Okay. These are the ways we can define, we can start with array. Still, we have not allocated any members, we have not allocated anything. This is just a starting point. Okay. Everyone is getting what I'm saying? Just say yes or no. Okay, I'm started with very simple things. Yeah, Abraham says yes. What about others? Others, pay attention here. This is very, very important thing. Java is very, very important. You will not understand if you are not clear with the syntax and logic and all these things. Okay. Anyway. Fine. So the question is now, how do we assign some values? We have declared, initialized some array. What is the array name? Int array 2. What is its type? Data type integer. That means in array we can put only integer kind of value. We can put integer kind of value only. Okay, nothing else. Okay. So what we can do here? Let's assign some values. Okay, fine. So this is the way you can assign. Let me reduce the size to 10 only. What is the array name? Int array 2. 0 is equal to, now let me assign some value. So what is its data type? Data type is integer, right? So we'll assign some value 10 int array 2. Now this index, you see how many, what the size of this array? Actually it's a 10. Up to 10 value you can store, right? So the value starts with 0. The indexing starts with 0. Okay, it never starts with 1. It starts with 0. Okay, so next value is 1 and there I will be storing 20. This is how we can assign value: int array 2, and what is the next value? That is 2, and I'll be assigning some value 30. Okay, this is how we can assign some values. Now let's print this out. Let's print that okay, this many values are there. Okay, so how do we print? How do we print? Okay, so there are many ways. First of all is system, simple way, system.println. This is array plus concatenation sign, and what is at zero index? Control C, Control V, semicolon. Okay, let me run this simple. What we are going to see? We are going to answer as a 10. We are just printing first array element, okay, with index 0. So right click, let it run. It will take a little bit time. So it must print 10, value is a 10. So at 0 index, I'm asking that what value is stored, what is the value has been stored. Okay, so that's what I'm demanding. Okay, run it fast. Okay, now this is the answer. This is array 10. Now how come this 10 value appeared? Do you see we have assigned 10 value at the 0 index? That's why we get the answer 10. Okay, this is simple array. Now this is called one dimensional array. This is simple called one dimensional array. Okay, so one dimensional array, once again let me draw here in front of you so that you can understand. Might be I'm stretching, you might be thinking Sir is stretching, like yeah, but it's very important that you understand. Some of you might not understood in previous semester, so this is the good chance that you clear your concepts regarding array. Fine. Okay, so there is a, meanwhile this gets starts, meanwhile there is another way we can print array using for loop. Okay, so how? So let me, I think for loop yesterday we have covered. So integer index, let's take index is equal to 0. This again new variable I have taken. Okay, index. We want to run this for loop how many times? 10 times, because we want to print value of array 10 times. We want to print value of array 10 times. Okay. So for that, index less than int array 2. Okay. And what's the length of int array 2? You see, this length function automatically comes. It will count the length. So till that time we want to run, and we are going to increment index one by one. This is simple for loop, and we are going to just print system.out.println, and here int array it's int array 2 And why, I mean, this is array. So in bracket, I'm going to provide some index value. I'm going to provide I. Now, what is this? Sorry, not I, index. What is the value of index starting? It's a 0. Okay, it's a 0. So first we need to see what is a 0 index, that is 10 value. Again, what is the int array 2 length? What is this length of this int array 2? It's a 10. So till 10 times this for loop will run. Okay, 10 times this will for loop will run. Okay, so after this index plus plus, so once it prints, it will plus, I mean, it will increment the index from 0, it will comes to 1. What is the again index value? What is here right now? It comes 1. Starting it was 0, so 0 now comes here 1. So it's like here, you see, it's matching. This notation is matching with this. So now it will print 20. Again, this for loop will run index plus plus. We are incrementing index. This will be incrementing to 2. Again, 30 value will come. So 30 value, we are going to print 30. Okay, rest of the things, it will print 0. Why 0? Because by default, integer will be initialized as a 0. Okay, if we have not defined any value. So let's print. Run. Okay, now you see 10, 20, 30. Till here we have assigned that many times it run, and rest of the values are we have not assigned. So by default integer initialized with 0, so it gives us 0 value. Okay, fine. So yeah, I was explaining this array. So let me draw this. Okay, it takes, okay, now here, let's say this is my simple int array. Okay, just hold on, it's a bit, this is my int array. Okay. Now it points to here. Now how it stores, I'm just explaining how it stores. So very slow. Okay, actually I didn't draw. Fine. So here so this integer array size is 10. Integer array size is 10. So first one will be int array. This is my 0. This is my 0 index. Okay, this one is my 0 index here. Again, same kind of thing. This is my first index. Oh, sorry. This is my first index. Where it is? This one. Like this. And again, input. And again, this will be second. Okay, and it points to this location. Fine. Till where? Till its size. What is its size? Now, if you see, it starts with 0. So if we count, if we give value 10, if we assign a size of 10, but here it starts with 0, then how many values I can reach up to? I can reach up to 9. I can reach up to 9. So reach up to 9. and here this is the ninth value. Okay, so it doesn't reach 10. Why? Because it starts with 0, so we have to do -1. So 10 minus 1, that is 9, up to 9. So this is simple single dimensional array. Okay, and here some value we can put. Let's say some values. So one value was we have tried to put 10, then 20 and 30 kind of thing we can put. 10, then 20 was here. Okay. Then 30, like this we can put some values. Okay, this is symbol single dimensional array. This is single dimensional array. Okay, now everyone is clear? Yes, fine. Okay, sir, in declaring array, can you explain this declaration assigning data at the same time? Yes, this is one of the way we can assign data. Okay, so yeah, we have not tried here, but let me show you here. Now you see integer array. Let's take this array. Okay, now declaration, initialization, okay, and assigning values you want to do all together. So you can do like this. So at this time you can assign some values: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, what is this actually? So its size gets fixed: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is size? This array size is 5. So till and it contains these values: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me tell you, these arrays are not mutable. These are immutable. That means once we assign some values, these value will remain in array. We cannot put some extra values. We cannot remove some values. Okay, this value will remain as it is. This value will remain as it is. Okay, so this is the array. Okay, this is the state. I mean, you see, the same way we have assigned these values, the same way can also assign value like this. Okay, here declaration, initialization, and assigning values, it happens all together. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's see the presentation. Okay, I think we have seen this. Yeah, so we can declare, instantiate, and initialize the Java array together. So like this: declaration, instantiation, and initialization all together. Now, actually, we have not seen the method, so we'll skip this part. Let's directly jump to two-dimensional array. What is two-dimensional array? Okay. Okay. So for that, before we start, let's understand two-dimensional array from diagram. Okay. So this is one-dimensional array. This is one-dimensional array. Let's see two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array. Let's take an example. This. Okay, two-dimensional array we have taken. Let me make it font size a little bit lower. Okay, now it's fine, 9. Okay, in two-dimensional array, we define like this, two brackets. And let me define size. One is 10 and second one is size is 5. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? Okay. So that means let me draw so that in two-dimensional array, so because in exam this kind of question will be there, and we need to answer this kind of question. So how this represents as a figure, and if you want to understand how this represents, so this first will be known as a, you see, two-dimensional, and this is zero index. Okay, this is zero index, right? Let me write down here. This is zero index, and at zero index, what is the second dimension? 5. What is the second dimension? 5. So zero index, we can store up to 5 values, up to 5 values. So we can also show like this, and five values. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? These 5 values we can store. At 0th index, we can store 5 values. And this index value, how do we give? How do we assign this index value? We can write like this. At 0th index, here, at 0th index, we can write like this. Yeah, it's bit messy, but in order to understand, two two-dimensional array on a 0 index, we have 0 index 0. This is 0 index 0, and here you can store any value. Now second, 0 index 1, where it should come, this box is here. What about this box value? At 0 index, now you see 0 index, we can store up to 5 values. This can come here. Second value, and here also this is third and this is fourth. So it starts with 0, so 5 value we can store. So this is 0 index. Now at this 1 index, again 5 value. So at 1 index, again 5 value. Again 5 value. At 1 index, again same like this. Again this 5 values. Okay, so again second index, again 5 value. So how many values it can store? Who will tell me how many values it can store? Total, how many values it can store? This two-dimensional array with size 10 and 5. Yes, anyone? I mean, you people are concentrating here, you people are understanding, right? How many values this two-dimensional array can store? What is the capacity of this two-dimensional array? So at 0 index, it can store up to 5 values. At 1 index, again, it can store up to 5 values. At second index, it can again store up to 5 values. Okay. Yes. Yes, very good, Ibrahim. 10 multiplied by 5. That many values. You see? 5 plus 5 plus 5. You can do like this or directly multiply 10 multiplied by 5. So this many times this many values it can store. Okay. Everyone is getting what I'm saying? Write down chat box. With the figure, I try to explain two-dimensional array. What about others? See, don't say yes like that. I mean, even if you don't understand, just tell me. So then I will explain you once again. Okay, good. If you are clear, then that's very good. Fine. So these are the second two-dimensional array. Let's do in coding. How do we define two-dimensional array? Let's see the example of two-dimensional array. So first of all, how do we define? So there are again multiple ways. First one is like this, simple declaration part. This integer array is two-dimensional. Okay. Second way is like this. Again, you can put two brackets here, and this becomes my two-dimensional array. This is declaration part only. Okay. One more way is there. This is the one more way. Integer, bracket, and two time array. Again, this is a good declaration, but there are three ways we can declare two-dimensional array. But most of the time we'll follow this because it's easier to remember and we can understand. Okay. Fine. So yeah, how do we instantiate? How do we instantiate this two-dimensional array? How do we instantiate? So let's take this int array. Let's take this int array. So int array is equal to mu integer. Now I want to put integer only. Now I think I have told you or not, I'm not sure, but it can hold only integer value. It cannot hold other string, character, boolean, float, double. It can hold only integer. If you want to store float also, then you have to define as a float. And there are some steps. I mean, array list is there where you can put any value, integer, float. But it's again whenever we encounter the chapter, at the time I will tell you. Okay. Now this is instantiation. I'm going to put some values. Okay. Its type is integer, 10 and 5. What do you mean by this? This is the two-dimensional array with 10 indexes, and for each and every index we have 5 values we can store. Okay. And how do we assign values? Now let's assign values for this. Now you see, this is how we can assign value. Int array at 0 index 0. That means this one. At 0 index 0, we want to assign 1. Int array. So it's a 50 value. I'm not going to write all 50 things here. I'm just for sampling purpose, I'm going to write very few values. At 0 index 1, I'm going to write 2. Okay, what if you, okay, my mistake, ARRAY. What if we exceed the size of the array? Let's see. What if we exceed the size of array? Let's say this array, second. What is the second index? Second index consists of only 5. This is second index consists of only 5. Okay, but instead I am writing here. Okay, just a minute, everyone. Hold on a second. Yes, hello. Sorry for interruption. Uh, what I was telling, that what we were doing, that we were assigning some value and we were trying to see what if we exceed the this thing. What is the size of this one? Let me give 2. What is the size of this second dimension? That is 5. Now int array 0, and let me write down 5. You see, even though we have assigned the 5, but it index starts with 0, so till 4 we can put some value. But let's say if I am trying to put some value here, 5. Now, this is syntactically right. This sentence is syntactically right, but at the compile time, after compilation, at the time of interpretation, this will give us some error. Let's see that error. Let's see that error. Right click, run. Because at the time of assigning, it will throw us some error that no, you see exception. What is the exception? Array index out of bound exception 5. What do you mean by this error? That means array index out of bound exception. You see array index, it goes out of bound. I mean, it goes out of range. That's the error. If we try to put some value which is not there in array, it's not defined here. Okay, I hope you are getting. Even though 5 is there, but index starts with 0. So here a final value will come as a 4. I hope everyone is getting this thing. Okay, so this is simple two-dimensional array. This is two-dimensional array. Okay, and how do we print this two-dimensional array? Okay, how do we print two-dimensional array? Okay, two-dimensional array we can print like this. Fine. Yes, loop. Ibrahim says very good. Loop, through loop only. There are simple way, that is one by one array we can take and we can print it here. But through loop it will be easier. Okay, let's print one by one, step by step. First, let's measure the length of this array. What it gives? What it gives? Measure the length of array. System dot out dot println. And here, length of an array plus, and what is the length of int array? Okay, it's an int array. Dot, you see the function comes automatically, this length, it will provide us. Okay, let's print this. Let's say, okay, let me first for remove this part so that we can see our output. Store, save, right click, run. The length of the array is 10. So length of the array is 10 means it gets this 10 value, till 10th value it gets. Okay, now we'll use for loop. The length of the array we want to run, so it's an int array. Okay, now the question is, this array will run till 10th value, I mean till this value. I want to also print this second dimension. What I will do? For that, I'm going to take one more array. For that, for loop. I'm going to take one more for loop. Integer j is equal to 0. Okay, and here I'm going to, okay, let me, here, what is the second dimension range? It's a till 5 value. A plus plus, and in this for loop I'm going to put my array int array. Yeah, it's int array only. First index value, for what is the index value? It's again 0. So, and so what is the second? It's a j. Okay, now what happens? First time this for loop will run, index value will be set as 0. So again, now this execution comes here in for loop. Now at this 0 value, at this index 0 value, j value, what should be the j value? Now j value will run 5 times. This 0 value will remain as it is. J value will run 5 times. 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then, okay, till 4 only. Okay. Again, after it runs 5 times, sorry. Again, index value comes here. Index value will increment to 1. This j value will increment to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this index value will increment to 2. This j value will again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. Okay. Anyway, let's print this. So we don't have that many value, only 1 to 2, 5. This many values we have. Let's see, we'll get that output. Otherwise, we'll have 0 values on rest of the array. You see, rest of the array is 0. So at the index 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 2, and 0, 3 we didn't put anything, but at 0, 4 we have 5. Okay. Okay. I hope everyone is clear with this two-dimensional array.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Ibrahim. Why it's -1? Anyway, I think you might have written by mistake. Anyway, so we'll keep up to here. Next lecture, we are going to see three-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array kind of thing. Okay, fine. So everyone write down their numbers in chat box with class name also. Yeah, there are so many numbers which are same, just 2 or 3 prefix are different. It gives me trouble. I mean, sometimes, so many times it happens that I might forgot to write down your mark your number. You check it on same day, and the same day before 10 o'clock at night, 10 p.m. You inform me, sir, my number was there, and you mark me absent. So I'll again check whether you written your number in chat box or not. If you're not writing your numbers in chat box, I will not be marking your present. Okay, that's for sure. Whatever happens, you write down your number in chat box. Don't mess with me, sir. This was a problem. Write down your number in chat box. Sanjay, you first write your number and then class name. Deepak Kumar, same number and class name. Don't write like this. Yes, Sanjay, that's right. Fine. Anyway, I think most of you have written your numbers. Let me stop presentation. Don't try 2 times. If you have written once, I got your number, I will mark your present. Don't try 2 times, 3 times. No need to write down that many times. Okay. So let me stop recording. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet in next lecture.